why did you do the Back for More Hypnotizing single?
Okay. I had an opportunity to start my own label, which I did, which was Cold Disc Records in Beverly Hills with a partner, Colin Sherman. And it took a lot of us. Tom Mundy worked at Capitol, and he was able to procure us to get in studios and to master and press. He was a pivotal guy in that part. But I was able to do something myself, and I had Hen G, Tony G, Africa Islam on the scratch. It was a nice little project, and it's just my first time of just trying out to be me, you know. And right now, damn, I look on the internet, them suckers are being sold for like $40, $100. I'm like, shit. I should have re-released those suckers.
You should.
But you know, that was just me being me. James, I was James, you know, James being James. My full name is James Whipper. I was just James Whipper being James Whipper. A lot of people was like, Whipper, the Whipper Whip. Where that name come from? That's my last name. So that kind of like led to that, which led to hooking up with Tony G, Julio G, over at K-Day, and got them in the studio, and I started doing, I was working on a project. It was a Latin project. It was Oye Como Va, but in English it was called Listen to How It Goes, where I started doing Spanglish. I want to say that's like around 87, 86, somewhere around there. And I did a show at a Cinco de Mayo show. They gave me a bunch of limos and, you know, catering. It was beautiful. And we went to some park in LA, and I was performing, and Kid Frost was performing. And so I stepped to him, I'm like, dude, why you ain't doing nothing in Spanish? You Mexican, you know what I'm saying? He saw me do my little Spanglish moves, you know, and he was like, yo, what's up? Nice meeting you, and this, that, and the other. And then, so lo and behold, I lived in this building. This is funny. Ended up after, you know, about a year's time. DJ Muggs from Cyprus moved in. Aladdin moved in. Paul Stewart moved into the building. Funkin' Klein moved into the building. Special K from Churches 3 moved into the building. Grandmaster Cass moved into the building. Myself. And we all lived in this building, yo, which was so cool because it was square. It was square, and it was open in the middle because the roof had a jacuzzi, and then it was like a park in the middle on the ground level. Benches, trees. So no matter who came in or what was going on, you see everybody come and go. So after the parties, after we throw the Water the Bush United Nation parties, which was like 3 blocks from where we lived at, the party kind of shifted over to where we were at. And it was a big party thing in there. And it was just bananas. Sweet as pie, I tell you. It was really nice. So next thing I know, one day Frost comes through and he was like, yo, you know, I got this track. I want you to check it out. So I was in my bedroom with a honey and shit. I was like, yo, play that joint. Next thing I had, boom, 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 boom. I was like, yo, that's a hit, son. And he was like, yo, dang, da da da. But like I said, we all lived in that building. So you had to, now this was before Cypress Hill. They were mad young. Muggs was a young guy, but he was a hell of a DJ. Him and Aladdin lived together. And you know who DJ Aladdin is, of course. So that kind of like was a lot. And right at that same time, that's when Africa Islam came down and started producing Ice. And next thing you know, Colors. And then Ice, you know, his life changed drastically after Colors and came up with Body Count and a lot of great things, you know, like through the group, through the, we broke a lot of groups through the venues that we had, Water the Bush and United Nations, Tribe Called Quest, you know, so many groups, Leaders of New School, that it became, let's put it this way, on a Tuesday night, by 2 o'clock, when it came time to leave, the police have Hollywood Boulevard shut down with the crowd that was coming out. Nobody ever heard of throwing a 3-room. We had a reggae room, hip hop room, a funk live band room, you know, to blossom and blow up the way it did, man. I'm talking, we was pulling in at easy 10 G's a night on a Tuesday. Forget Friday, Saturday. Let everybody party in there all little whatever. But yeah, we took that game to LA, and that blew up humongously. Wow. LA was beautiful.
Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it. So what with the syndicate, given that of course Africa Islam was Zulu Nation, I see you got you representing that today, of course. But
of course. got to represent always.
But I was curious, for you, other than the color thing, was it easy to assimilate into LA and the different vibe that it had compared to the Bronx?
Yeah, it was hella different. I mean, I've seen so many different things. For one, I never knew what a burrito was.
Wow.
I didn't know what a burrito was coming up in New York. Never had Mexican food, ever. So then I learned a whole different way of life in Hollywood, which was a beautiful life, by the way, because the abundance and the everything was just beautiful. I mean, we had like 2 pads, one pad for here, 1 pad for there, just to do different things that had different females in. We did crazy shit. It was some rock star shit, I'll tell you. But it wasn't intended to be that way. It just happened to be that way. Once the club thing jumped off, Hollywood was ours. I did the old school show with Curtis Blow on Power 106 with Donald D. It was Donald D, Curtis Blow, and myself. I should get these dates down because I don't remember the dates. I know it was like 86, 87. That's before Big Boy was Big Boy. You know what I'm saying? Right. Who else was rocking up there? The Baker Boys. They had Power 106 on live, but we did our old school show. Our numbers were through the roof, And then I got a chance to meet a lot of the greats. Tina Marie. Oh Lord, Mary Jane Girls. Because it was an old school show, he always wanted to interview all those old school R&B acts. So we met a lot of folks through that, and that's when I started spitting Spanish on air. See, they didn't really get that Spanish part out there, and then when I did that, the phones would blaze up. Thank you, Curtis Blow. And next thing I know, I just started recording a lot of Southside joints and Latin joints after that. And I didn't get a chance to get into my Latin roots while I was doing hip hop in the Boogie Down. So, I mean, this was a whole new, like a beautiful freedom. And next thing I know, I'm rocking, and hey, that just tumbled into a whole slew of guys rocking. Your boy, like I said, Frost came out. Then Mellow Man, he came on, did his thing. Light Shade of Brown, High C. So it was a beautiful momentum. And Hollywood, like I said, that West Side was where, when I linked up with Africa Islam, that was pretty much how I came under Zulu, because in New York, I respected Zulu, and hey, Bam, we know everybody, Chats J and everybody. But it wasn't until we came to LA and Islam came and started the West Coast chapter. Because that's really where we flourished and became, and that's where I came in on Zulu. Okay. And Bam was like, you guys are doing it crazy big out there, because we had everything. We had clothing lines. We had so much going on. So much. And that all thanks to Africa Islam. He was a pivotal guy in that whole West Coast situation. So
then with ICE and with Africa Islam, what was your role on the Fried Chicken song off the OG? Because
what you hear Evil, it was a break. And so that's me. That's it, on the video, it got Evil, but no, that's actually me in the studio with the breaking it down. And I wasn't able to be at the video shoot because, like I said, life was crazy. So I missed the shoot on the video, which I really regret to this day. But, what can I say?
I was always trying
that's just me and Ice on that.
Okay.
And they used Evil to do my part.
Yeah, because some about it, I could never figure it out. So that makes sense now. Okay. But also, one of the things that I was always impressed with was, that was 91, but soon thereafter, in addition to everything else you were doing, you started doing a lot of other recordings and guest appearances, and then songs were being in movies and different things.
Oh
So
yeah.
some of the ones that I really enjoyed, I wanted to ask you about was the DJ Honda, the Saying Something.
Oh yeah, that's me and Grandmaster Melly Mel from the
Right.
Furious Five in Japan. We went to Japan with Africa Islam, and yeah, we recorded Saying Something.
So
That's
what?
one of my favorite songs
No, I
because
love
we
that.
we talking shit on that one.
No, and that one seemed to have, you have it on a lot of the other ones, but that one seemed to have a real different energy to it, which is one of the reasons I like it so much. So do you remember something being different or distinctive about making that song?
Yeah, the fact that I'm rocking with Grandmaster Melly Mel, I had to step my game up. You had to step your game up right in the studio with the Grandmaster. You know, that's the only difference. And then, of course, Honda makes great beats.
Yes, he does.
He's a super producer. So, but yeah, I think the fact that Melly Mel that I was in the studio with him recording something that I had to give it. I had to give it.
And then what about with all the party people with Kaz reunited
Grandmaster Caz. Oh yeah.
with him?
Now that's another one. Like that was what was that? Coachella, and that was what's his name? What label was that?
Tough City. That was on
Tough City. Yeah, Tough City. One day I think we was at a new music seminar, and Cass was like, "Yo, Whip, I need you to bless my album. We need to do a track together." And of course, we're gonna get down. I'm not gonna say no. That guy I started out with. You know what I mean? Now at this time, I'm in LA, and he's still in New York. And we're flying to New York, for the new music seminar. So I'm kind of like, I guess not being in New York made me like kind of a little special coming to New York. And it's still that same way today. The fact that I'm living in Michigan right now, that when I go to New York, it's like, yo, whip a whip, I'm not like seeing like, everybody else is rocking at all these clubs that are happening all of well, not this past year, but the year before. And, so yeah, that was a nice project. And like I said, when we did the Joe Conzo thing, when Joe Conzo did his thing, we ended up doing a little. We did the song together, a cappella, Grandmaster and myself, and that's on the internet somewhere. But that was kind of neat. But yeah, then Conzo then of course there's a whole lot of songs we did, especially with Mel. The OG Funk album that was produced by Bill Laswell. For Billy Bass, OG Funk, Billy Bass, the bass player, Funkadelics. We did a lot of songs together there too. Are you familiar with any of those?
Yes, I know what you're talking.
Aha! You did your research.
Well, it's a more refresher. I study this. This is what I do, so I love it.
Enough respect.
Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. So that. What Mel and Scorp came to California, and we didn't really hang out in New York. We weren't, we were just like, acquaintances. Yo, what's up? Da, da, da. But now when it came to Hollywood, we started hanging out because now I'm hosting a slew of clubs. Jamaican Gold with my boy was oh my God, how could it's been that long? It was a club called Jamaica Gold. There was another one called Jamaica Live. What else? It was like 3 or 4 joints that I hosted weekly with White Lightning and he's gonna get so pissed at me that I can't remember his name. It'll come to me in just a minute. I'm old. I'm almost 60. But I hosted a lot of clubs. And so we had open doors everywhere. We had open doors no matter where we'd go. I mean, I was even able to, Michelle's Triple X, all female club, no men allowed. Walk up in there like kings, no problem. So we were pretty much, we got close. I mean, we got really close. Because then now me and Mel, not only did we do the Honda project in Japan, we ended up doing a whole lot of other things in Japan. We were doing shows. We started out to do, I think we were supposed to do like, I don't know, a week or two, which ended up like almost 2 months because they kept adding shows. We were going up on the bullet train to Nagata where they never even seen black folks. We were still walking by and people were stopping in their tracks like, we're like, holy shit. And they was explaining to us, it's like, yo, the only time they even seen black folk was on TV. Wow. Now they seeing y'all. And they built a club, an entire club for Zulu. I'm talking casino, restaurant, the opening night, grand prizes were dates with us. The stage had the big had the logo, had the Zulu logo, and had the Waterbush United Nations logo. So it was all Zulu with rising. I mean, it would rise, and I'm standing there and rising out the ground, and people was like, "Holy crap!" You know. So a lot of that stuff happened in Japan. We rocked Prince's Club, Grand Slam. So Melly Mel and myself did a lot. We did a lot of touring together, and we became super tight.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we became super tight, which was super cool. Cause look, my boys is like, you know what I'm saying? First rap group in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now Lifetime Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? That's family, and even though they're the ones that's getting it, it's like everybody, all of us have got it because we all came up from the same seeds. You know, we all grew up in that little boogie down, and you know, and we're brothers. So a lot of people are like, yeah, you're part of the group. I'm like, yeah, of course we're part of the group. You know what I mean? How many people get a chance to go and perform the message in White Lines, you know, with Melly Mel, who's the only guy of the Furious Five that did the record. You know, they show in the video, Furious Five was doing the rec thing, but it was just Mel, you know, it was Mel and Duke Booty. So all of that led to a togetherness and a brotherhood that we have a bond that can never be broken right now. You know, and I'm always chit-chatting with Mr. Ness. Me and Ness was cool in the game. We did so much partying in LA. You would think we was born and raised there.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Your MTV Raps with NWA?
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.